Jason.
Well, first off, I want to thank all of the speakers that took time to come and share their perspectives and information with us. Additionally, I do want to clarify and assure everyone, none of us, and collectively, we are not looking at trying to close the chamber or do anything in a negative fashion. What we're trying to do is look at our responsibilities as council people with city dollars and how best to distribute those. That's our ongoing goal. I do agree with many of the things that were said, including the chamber is woven into the fabric of the community. That's absolutely true. I also want to indicate that 2 years ago, Councilmember Haley and I met with Bobby and Carrie on 2 occasions. The meetings were in relation to the 2 of us wanting more specific information and data related to how our city dollars were being utilized to benefit businesses and economic development. And we left the first meeting with giving them that information. The second meeting, they came back and they provided some information and said that they understood and that that would be ongoing. And some information and some data and specifics began to come. But like many things, that waned away. But it's important that each of you here know that 2 of us had that discussion 2 years ago. Now, I read over the meeting minutes from the financial committee that we have, in which the chamber made a presentation to the committee. And some of the things that were indicated in there were the 2 annual trips, one being to Sacramento and one to Washington, D.C., which was explained here. But while they went on the trip, I'm curious as to what specific benefit came from that. Did it sway a legislator? Did we introduce some piece of legislation? What's the specific? I think everyone would like that. Another piece that was shared: works with local schools to help prepare students, provide internships at local businesses, and attracting graduates to stay in the school. Again, a wonderful thing, specifics. Thousands of leads for local business community. Thousands of leads. I love it, but I don't have any specific data on that. Who were the leads? What companies? Who made the contact? I just like, it could be a log. I just like things that support and defend and show us where the funds are going. And these are things they're doing, so they should be able to provide that. Dollars raised in additional economic revenue, totaling almost more than $30,000 to help local charities and families within the city. Again, a noble thing, we all support it, but again, a breakdown of the specifics. Also at that meeting, Mayor Montanez indicated he desired more specific details, such as names of the businesses that had been visited. Now, when it comes to looking at where we're going, we're looking at the chamber, and I kind of look at it as I did in the role of my being on the United Way, right or wrong. I was chairman of the United Way Appropriations Committee for a long time. You sit on the United Way Appropriations Committee, and people come to you, they want money. Your businesses kind of do the same thing when you go out to get hire companies. So they come in, they're requesting amount of money. They come in, they indicate what their budget is, so you can take a look at their budget. They come in and they show what their administrative costs are and relative to all other costs. And they come in with specific goals for the year and how those will be measured and reported out at the end of the year. Those seem like reasonable things to me. So I'll come back to that part. I wanted to look at other chambers. So I went out looking for other chambers. I thought, what resource can I use? Because I know the Corona Chamber. I'm not perfect on it, but I know them best. So I wanted to look at other chambers and see how they compare to our chamber. And I appreciate some folks gave information about other chambers. So I was trying to find a resource in which I could identify chambers that I might look at. So what I discovered is the United States Chamber of Commerce. And so I went to the United States Chamber of Commerce, and they have something I didn't even know they had, which is called the 5-star accreditation. And went to take a look at that. But using that 5-star accreditation, because they deem those as good chambers, I went to look at those. So I picked out 4 of them, and I printed out the documents from it and took a look at the things that they are doing. So things that I saw. And again, I'm limited to the website, and I understand that. But I saw a mission statement, I saw core values, a vision statement, their critical goals for the year, or possibly a strategic plan for multiple years. Other things that came up: help foster job creation through entrepreneurial classes. Now, some of these are things that we do and some aren't. It's just for comparison. Work with adult education programs to build and retain the workforce. E-learning programs through partnerships. Highlight growth and successes of all businesses, sometimes through videos. Internship partner programs coordinated by the chamber. Public awareness program on the importance of education. Professional development conducted via cross-business partnerships. Businesses allow employees to attend each other's training sessions to cut back on costs, coordinated by chambers. Create customized classes for different business sectors. Increase utilization of chamber resources by minority businesses. Develop the workforce. Better educate and service members with extended reach into member companies and businesses. Schedule personal visits with project managers, brokers, agents, consultants, and company representatives to support recruitment efforts. Establish or deepen the relationship with existing members at their place of business. Expand the youth leadership program to reach more area high school juniors to help them develop skills in leadership, goal setting, decision making, communicating effectively, and understanding people with differences. Promote small businesses to help boost their businesses and bring about awareness. Survey members on their needs and strive to meet those needs. So those are things that I picked out from those. And as I said, many of them we're doing with our own chamber, but there may be other things that we can pull in. But it was a great opportunity for me to learn more about other chambers, which also takes me back to the United States Chamber of Commerce and their 5-star accreditation. I don't know if any of you folks had ever heard of that. And they give out stars. You can get 1 star all the way up to 5. And Lisa, can you put that item with accreditation on it? So Fort Bend is not one that I printed out, but as I was looking around and I saw this accredited and the 5 stars, it did catch my eye. United States Chamber of Commerce accredited 5 stars. That at least made me curious, made me want to check into that. What made it so that they were accredited? Do they have something, are they doing something that we're not doing locally? And if not, is it something we should pursue? So they have 9 different sections that a chamber goes through, and they submit an application and can become accredited. Now, I don't know, and I'm not telling the chamber what they should do. It's just something I found. But it's something of interest. And again, I want to say, it is not our job to tell the chamber how to run. Our job is to indicate, based on goals and measurable assessment, how much money we'll allocate to support. So anyway, the United States Chamber of Commerce helped me, and I wanted to share about this 5-star accreditation process. Moving forward, as I said, 2 years ago, Mr. Haley and I had a couple of meetings. Then we were looking for specifics for the current year, 2014-15. And I read through the committee meeting minutes, which gave some information, but it's not specific. Even the mayor indicated it wasn't specific. And then we got more information in the packet and presentation today. So for me, going forward, and if you can put up the other one, for the chamber, when they come to request funds, I'm looking at the chamber and the city presenting a goal or goals for the year and specific related information on that. That there will be agreed upon measurable data compiled to determine the extent to which the goals were met during the year and at the end of the year. And as you can see, this is just one format that could be used, but it has critical elements that I like, which include putting down what the goal or goals are, what actionable steps will be taken to try to meet the goal, what the estimated budget requirement will be, what the expected outcomes are, assessment measures. How are we going to determine whether we met the goal? Measurement timeline. Are we doing it quarterly? Are we doing it every 6 months? Persons responsible. And then toward the end, you can look at hindrances found and possible solutions so that when you go into the next year, if you're going to carry over some of those goals, you have those in mind and you can write the goals with those things in mind. I'm sure many of your businesses use this type of a system when determining what you're going to do moving forward. So I would like to see these specifics with goals and measurable actions and documentation included. I'd also like to see a copy of the breakdown of administrative costs to operational costs. And I ask that because this is basically a nonprofit. Nonprofits, those are important things. And if we can have city staff and chamber staff and the board work together on what the goals are, you can certainly pull in things from the current year's agreement, set out what those goals are and go through that chart that I had there and have those measurable means that we will get reports back on, then I'm much more comfortable because I will know where the dollars are going. We have not been getting those specifics in the past. And as I said, 2 years ago, we talked about that and we did see that, and I thank Bobby and Kerry for initiating that, but then it waned away. So I would really like to see that come about before we expand dollars, but I'm going to stop there for right now. Thank you.